Hello everyone, today's November 29th, and today I'm trying to experiment with something a bit different. Instead of just telling me what happened today, I'm actually going to tell something that happened to me in the past and not today. But just as a quick recap on what I did today, this morning I went to a practice near the pool with my friends. We worked on some technique stuff, again, to practice for the meet that's coming up next week and to prepare for it essentially because it's a really important meet for me. So, but today, which I believe it's probably said in title, I'm going to talk about one of the biggest crash outs that I've ever had in my life. So, I moved here from China back in my freshman year of high school, which is ninth grade last year. So back in China, there is this really popular game that's not as played in the Western world. It's called Go or Weiqi. It's spelled Weiqi. You can Google it up, but just think of it as the Chinese version of chess. It's very popular in Asia. So the thing is, my parents, especially my dad, was a really big fan of it, and he wanted me to carry it on. So since I was really little, he would push me to play um this game like throughout my entire elementary life, and yeah, so I was signed up for classes. I was required to play a couple games every day online, and in also and yeah, at first I was pretty enjoying it because I learned stuff pretty quickly. Doing I was pretty good at doing stuff, right? But eventually it got to the point where, especially since once I got into middle school, it got to the point where I wasn't making progress fast enough, and naturally that brought a bit of frustration to me and my father, who was a bit they wanted me to get good, right? And the thing is, in Go, the ranking system is a bit different than the Elo in chess. It's just ranks. So you have level 1, level 2, level 3, and so on. And the only way you can get your rank up is by winning a certain amount of games in a tournament. And the thing is, I had rather poor performances in tournament, like under my actual strength due to nerves or whatever, or maybe just getting pressured. So that meant that I was consistently underperforming, and that was rather frustrating. So the thing is, in middle school, that's when you start to think you're better than everyone else. That's when you got that sense of ego where you go oh my God, I'm just so much better than everything else. I know so much. So one time during a Go tournament, that was already when I was starting to. So before that, I was already starting to be I don't really like this. Like I was not motivated as well, but uh I didn't communicate that well enough. So my father thought everything was fine. So yeah, they kept pushing me to practice more and more, even though I was a bit uninterested in it. And then at one Go tournament, all that pressure that I received, and again, it's probably best that I should have communicated it better. But what happened was in that tournament, I started off very poorly. It's it was a 7 game tournament. I probably had to win five, and I lost two of my first both my first 2 games, and I was I'm done. I can't do this anymore, and I literally just walked out of the tournament. It was in a school, and I that time I'm underplaying the actual breakdown I had. I had a whole mental breakdown. I couldn't do this anymore. Nothing. But yeah, I ran out of the building. There was a security guard. I think I remember literally punching that guy in the face. Poor guy. Like looking back, I really feel like I was a big terrible person, and I just ran. I didn't tell my father, like who was he couldn't accompany me there. I didn't tell my father I ran, right? I think he was there at the time actually. So after the end of the third game, which I was supposed to play, he called me and he was like, "Why didn't you?" He had the results. He's like, "What happened?" And that's when I told him I didn't play it, and yeah, but they did end up picking me up from like a train station a bus station a while away. But yeah, after that, what essentially happened was we had a talk about like how my pressure was getting held to all these all these pressure stuff. So essentially, what happened was they loosened up the expectations we had on the game, and essentially I just started doing it. I just wanted to get back to it and get have fun with it instead of getting pressure to rank up. I should just they felt the important thing for me was just to make sure that I enjoy it because it is a pretty fun game actually, and I'm honestly really grateful for that because now I still play that game regularly. I have a actually in fact I host a meetup in a local mall where we play this game in the U.S. where it's not a really popular game, and lots of people come, and that's actually amazing, and I really enjoy this game. So the main takeaway I got was that honestly, it's really important to communicate what you're feeling when you're feeling pressure because if you hold it out to yourself, it's going to be difficult for people to help you when the pressure gets too high. You want to stop like what happened to be from happening in the early stages because once it gets too difficult, it becomes a big mess and you'll end up like something bad like what I did will happen. So yeah, so for now, right now, what I've learned from it is that I'm just going to try to enjoy the process first, then we're going to see how we can improve. It's the same for anything. It's like for school, for swimming, what I do too, for math, anything. The first thing you gotta do is like enjoy it and don't let the pressure get to you too much. So yeah, I'm really grateful for how this turned out, and honestly, I'm really grateful for my parents for not punishing me really, really harshly because honestly, that was really deserved. I was, I was pretty. That was not a great thing, but yeah. Thanks for watching this video. Also, the support I received on a previous video, I'm really appreciative of that. So thank you guys for watching.